you one last hangout before Christmas comes. It's coming
Yep.
in a few days. Alonzo is ready always. Today in particular, with your handsome shirt.
Yeah, my Nakatomi shirt. I feel like I can't believe it's like 5 days away. Like I feel like I haven't had a moment to sort of stop and breathe and take it all in. But tomorrow we're having a mall day, and I think that's going to be, I think that'll really allow me to kind of feel seasonal. If fingers crossed, we get the handbell choir, because sometimes we've gotten those at the mall in the past, and that just really cinches the season for me.
Is this the day you go to South Coast Plaza?
Yes, it is.
Okay, not that I'm trying to send your stalkers toward you. It's a big mall.
It's two malls with a bridge between them. Like, it's a lot of mall.
I thought Del Amo was big, but South Coast Plaza is even bigger. It literally is two malls. Thanks to all you guys for being here. Hello, Eli says, wish I could watch live, but I'm working. Thank you for the thought. We have Music Twins 82 in Glendale, Arizona. I might be going to Glendale, Arizona because, Robert, hello, if SMU beats Penn State tomorrow in this playoff game, they will be in the Fiesta Bowl. This is the important football content that you have taken time out of your busy day for. So if SMU wins, they'll go to the Fiesta Bowl, which they are playing in beautiful Glendale, Arizona. Hello to Christian and It Can Be and Jonathan and Christine. Always a pleasure to see you. Angel in Spain. Stephen says hello. And hello to PJD in Manila in the Philippines.
Oh, wow. Hello.
I love that. Hi. How do we sound? Real fast?
If they toast a giant Pop-Tart at the Pop-Tart Bowl, like, what happens at the Fiesta Bowl? Like, does everybody come out and swing at a gigantic piñata or something? Like, how do we delineate? Yes. It's your marching tortilla chips, I have no idea.
I'll find out. I'm excited though. Yeah, let us know what our levels are like. It feels like it's okay on our end, but you guys tell us. There are always gremlins in the system. So thank you, Jonathan, saying sound and video are good. Thank you, Roma Steve. Hello. Jonathan says your Brutalist review has even made me more excited. Yes, our review of The Brutalist is out. That is in theaters today in limited release. It's one that we are very excited about, and we know that you are too. And then you're going to have a review from us of Nickel Boys later on, and a podcast episode and some goodies early next week, and then we are done. Yes. So Brutalist, how does that sound to you guys? I don't know. I know some folks have already seen it at some film festivals, but if you're looking forward to it, let us know.
Yeah. And, if you see anything in the theater this Christmas season, like, that's the one. Mm-hmm. That's the one that you don't necessarily want to see at home. I think you really need the big screen to really dig into it.
Oh, yeah. When they sent us screeners for LA Film Critics voting, I was shocked.
Well, look, they sent this Memoria. I figure, like, it's all on the table at that point. They just want us to see the thing, but they did offer a lot of opportunities for us to go. I was able to go to like a Sunday morning screening at the Linwood Dunn, which is one of the Academy's theaters in town, and see it in 70. Andrew Garfield was there, and people were shockingly not bugging him. That was cool.
That's good. See, like, real locals know you don't bug the celebrities in public.
But you know, at those guild screenings, you just never know. Someone's always got a script to hand to somebody,
This is true. Well, good to see all of you. There actually is a ton of news. You'd think it'd be quiet because we are heading into, the end of the year here, but there's actually a ton of news in the awards world. Let me frame up my shot.
Not to mention all the Sundance announcements, which I've barely really gotten to dig into yet.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
we have Sundance.
We have Sundance. The main thing my main takeaway, just because it's a film I'm excited to see, Andrew On's remake of The Wedding Banquet, starring Lily Gladstone and Bowen Yang, is going to be opening in it's premiering at Sundance, and they've already announced it's going to open in mid-April, I believe. Cool. But yeah, the whole Sundance schedule is out there, and the Slamdance schedule just dropped like a day or two ago, and of course that's going to be now in Los Angeles in February rather than being in Park City trying to, compete with Sundance during their time.
Oh, interesting. Angel points out in the chat, hey, we don't have our member stars. That's weird. I did not change any settings, so I'm sorry. But yes, Angel, we appreciate that you are a channel member. Woo! I don't know why they're not there, but thank you for being here anyway. So what I was going to say, aside from Sundance, is that we have a bunch of stuff going on. The teaser for James Gunn's Superman is out. I know, Alonso, you did not watch it.
I did not, but I'm already seeing screen grabs of crypto, and I endorse this.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's really good. It does what a teaser should do in that it gets you excited for what's going to happen without really actually telling you anything.
Okay.
I think the best ones do that. They give you a feel for the film and the vibe, and they get you excited, but they don't give away too much. So yeah, we do have crypto. David Cornsweet is just so well cast as Superman, very much in that Christopher Reeve vein. Just looks the part, looks like Superman should, and it just looks beautiful.
I remember after Pearl being like, "Who's that?" So
and then he was in that Netflix romantic comedy, Look Both Ways.
I wonder if I saw that one. He's also
we
in
reviewed it.
Oh, really? Oh, God, I've already forgotten. Which one was Look Both Ways?
It was like a sliding doors thing where she's got like 2 different lives. We reviewed it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. He was in Twisters.
That is true. He was in Twisters. Yeah, Steven says crypto is adorable. Yeah, it's very cute. I'm excited. Yeah. And Christine asks, Superman, which excited you more in the Superman trailer? The first notes of the John Williams score or crypto showing up? Yeah, they kind of do a cool version of that iconic John Williams, that fanfare. So it'll be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I hope they get it right. We'll see how it goes.
That comes out on July 11th of next year. So we are excited about that. This weekend, though, it is Mufasa versus Sonic at the box office. Yes, 2 furry creatures going head to head. Both are, powerful and magical, and only one of them is from space. Are you guys going to see both or either? Do you care? Is this the time of year where you're excited more about the serious art house stuff, the awards contenders, or do you want the big crowd pleasing escape at the holidays? I think Sonic's expected to do better.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like the idea that a non-Disney animated film would beat a Disney animated film, I think for much of film history, nobody would have believed it. But here we are. Maybe it's a Barbenheimer situation. We have a Sufasa going on.
Yeah. So I did not inflict Sonic the Hedgehog 3 upon you, Alonso, because I treasure our friendship and I know your time is valuable. But I saw it. Nick and I went and saw it, and it's really fun. And it's the best one of the 3. Cool. And Jim Carrey is doing double duty as Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Robotnik's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik. And the effects are very good. Cool. And Keanu Reeves is the voice of Shadow, and he's taking the assignment very seriously. He's sort of like, if you can picture John Wick as a diabolical hedgehog from space, that is what Keanu Reeves is doing. It's really funny, and there are actual stakes. I had a good time. Right. So,
well, good. I mean, look, these movies are like, there's no rule that says an IP movie can't try. So like, I'm glad they made the effort.
Yeah, it's the same director from the first 2, so there's some consistency there. And just the idea of Idris Elba voicing one of these furry creatures too is kind of hilarious.
Didn't the guys who wrote Violent Night also write at least like the first Sonic movie? Oh. I seem to think there's some sort of shared DNA there.
Yeah, I don't know, but I had a good time. And I've never played the Sonic games in my life, so I know there's a ton of Easter eggs that I missed. Yeah. But there's a mid-credit scene and an end credit scene at the very end. Okay. And people were squealing and gasping at the revelations in these tiny little segments. So
Sonic has had such a lengthy life in various media. Like Archie Comics has published a Sonic the Hedgehog comic book for decades now.
Oh,
like, yeah, many ongoing adventures. So go figure.
Yeah, people care about Sonic still. I don't know. But so that is out, and it's supposed to do better than Mufasa. So let us know what you guys are going to see. Jordan Strong says, I'm taking my brother to Mufasa in exchange for seeing a complete unknown on Christmas.
Okay.
So let us know how that goes. Curious to know about that. Also, this week we had Oscar shortlists announced in 10 categories, including documentary feature and international feature and original song and score. Amelia Perez leads all of those with 6 shortlist mentions, including song and score and makeup, I want to say. And then Wicked is in second with 5. And that's like visual effects and sound and original score and all that. So makeup.
Moments before we went live, it was announced that the song from A Better Man that had been shortlisted has now been disqualified. Because apparently it incorporates elements from a previously existing song.
It's a Robbie Williams song.
He might have been one. There was multiple songwriters attached to it, but apparently they determined that it used bits of that song "I Got a Name" from the 70s, which I didn't know was also from a movie.
The Jim Croce song.
Jim Croce song, yeah.
That's strange. Anyway, so we're getting a little bit of, guidance here as we were doing our award prognosticating. Seed of the Sacred Fig is in there. No Other Land is in there in documentary. Also, I just saw, if you guys follow the Roger Deakins podcast, they are going to have the director of The Seed of the Sacred Fig on next week.
Yes. Oh, Mohammed Rasoloff. That's great. He's our LAFCA Best Director winner.
He's our LAFCA Best Director winner. And then I think that was also one of the contenders for Best International.
Yeah, it's like Germany's entry or something, right?
Is it Germany?
It's not Iran.
Clearly not Iran. Some other country who was smart to go promote that. So so we have that going on. And then when Oscar nominations come out on January 17th, we will do our usual Oscar nomination morning live stream. So if you want to set some time aside, I'm guessing it'll be 9 a.m. Pacific time again. I'm up at 5:30 a.m. when these things are announced. So look forward to seeing you there. And we'll have more details and a link to that eventually. Happy holidays to you, Tanya. Good to see you there. What else do we have this week? Okay. Oh, Anora. Speaking of awards, Anora is now available for online purchase. It is $19.99.
Yes. Which is, the how we do it now. Once the theatrical window airs, there's it's like premium video on demand. There's so many acronyms now that I get lost in the weeds. But yeah, it like many a big deal, high profile movie, it is purchase only, $20 only. So not cheap. But then if 2 or more people are going to be watching it, I'd say you're coming out ahead.
Yeah, and if it's not playing anywhere near you, this is a good way to see it if you want to be caught up on all the awards contenders, because that will definitely be among them.
For sure.
Our good friend Glenn Whipp has a column this week at the LA Times about how crowded that Best Actress race is. He thinks some people are locks, and Mikey Madison is among them. I think if it were to be today, I would imagine that she would win. But Cynthia Erivo is there as well,
right?
Nicole Kidman is there as well,
and Demi Moore, and there's a whole bunch of folks,
right. So that's definitely gonna be one of the tighter ones this time around. So that is out there. The National Film Registry did its annual inclusion of a whole bunch of new titles, and they include No Country for Old Men, which is still my favorite Coen Brothers film, Dirty Dancing, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and Beverly Hills Cop. What do you think about the National Film Registry, and what is it? Like, what do they do exactly?
Yeah, it's a thing from the Library of Congress does. Jacqueline Stewart is actually, she's either the head of that board or on that board. They make these selections every year, and it's everything from big mainstream movies like that to tiny short films like there's an old Coco the Clown short from the turn of the 20th century that they put on there. The Epstein Friedman documentary Common Threads, which won an Academy Award, Gus Van Sant's My Own Private Idaho, the Andy Warhol, Paul Morrissey film Chelsea Girls. It's a mix of things, and I think it's basically a way to sort of spotlight films of cultural significance, and it kind of, I don't know what this means in terms of guaranteeing now that we're going to make an effort to preserve them, or if it's just a way to sort of nudge people to preserve them. But it is sort of they're kind of bestowing them upon them the idea of these are films that are culturally significant, and every year they pick 25. I think American Me made the list this year, which Edward James Olmos directed. So yeah, it's always a fascinating cross section of different kind of films. Zainabu Irene Davis's I forget her name, but I forget the name of the film, but it's actually getting a reissue in February. Janus is putting out a new 4K restoration, and it's an essential sort of early indie film directed by a Black woman. Compensation. That's the name of the movie.
Okay.
Opening in February.
A couple of folks mentioning other titles that got in there, including the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the
Yes.
Social Network.
Yes.
Just as you say, it's kind of a random cross section of film, but like all really good stuff. And how do
Yeah.
you argue with any of that? So
Sure.
they have good taste. Yeah, some folks are saying that Demi Moore is your front runner at this point. That is a nice idea. I kind of wonder whether the substance is too weird for people.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a real test, I think. Like, will Academy members watch that movie? Will they watch all of that movie? I like to think they would, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
She's doing a really good job of campaigning. She's really active on Instagram. Did you just sneeze?
It was a cough.
Bless you. Bless your
Thank you.
cough. I think she's really smart about like the way she's been championing this film, and also she's been sharing like behind the scenes photos of what it took to get into all those prosthetics for the final part of the film. So
Yeah.
I think all of that is really smart, and it's a good sort of comeback story in some ways.
Sure.
So
Oh yeah, no, they love that for sure. She's this year's Ki Hai Kwan.
yeah, the narrative is there. Yes.
Yeah, and and I just found out that the Blu-ray 4K whatever of the Substance is coming out January 25th.
Great. Good. Daniel Zambrano, thank you so much for your kind contribution.
Thank you.
Daniel says, I'm a huge comic book guy and I don't really do DC with some exceptions, but crypto made me smile. Give me Comet the Super Horse, you cowards. Okay,
Streaky the
Comet?
Super Cat.
Who's Comet?
Comet is a super horse. He was Kara's horse, I think, is the origin story on Argo City. He popped up in the Supergirl comics because girls love horses. And there was Streaky the Super Cat, Beppo the Super Monkey. There was a whole. I mean, they did do an animated Legion of Super Pets movies that didn't, I think, include all of them, but at least a few of them made it in there.
Yeah. I think it looks adorable. I actually did not even know that there was a Crypto the Super Dog. I had
Really?
no idea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So now I know. It is so cute. And the way it plays out is very charming. Yes, Leo says, watch Smile 2 and then watch The Substance. Yeah, there are some things that are reminiscent of each other in their endings. That is true. Bonzo wants to know, why do you say bless you for sneezes and not coughs? Because like you're possessed by a demon or something. Maybe
that is apparently the thing with sneezes. I have no idea. I think because if you had to say something for coughs, we'd never talk about anything else.
I guess. Jimmy says, as a horror head, I don't get my hopes too high. You know how the Oscars attitude toward horror. I mean, talking about the substance that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only win in a horror film was Kathy Bates in Misery, and then I think Sigourney Weaver got nominated for Aliens, but that's kind of it as far as in the acting categories. So yeah, it would be an unusual move, but like you were saying, Demi Moore is somebody who's been around. She, they love the idea of this that she's having this sort of mid to late career resurgence. Let's not forget Bratz came out this year and she was the voice of sanity in that movie.
That is true. She is. Yeah, she does a lot of the wisdom comes from her. She talks Andrew McCarthy down off the ledge.
Exactly.
And Brat. And also, yeah, and it's a horror movie, but it's like a Hollywood horror movie. And Hollywood does like movies about itself, even though this is a very critical movie about Hollywood.
Sure, yeah, but I think I'm sure there's probably a lot of maybe older women in the Academy who might not be first in line for a splatter film, but are like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I feel seen. Roma Steve, thank you so much for your kind contribution. Roma Steve says, odds that Ridley Scott will do a G.I. Jane sequel? Demi Moore as a general, now that her star is rising again? I don't know. Ridley Scott's like 86 at this point. How old is he?
Look, it took him 24 years to get around to doing a Gladiator sequel. So, I mean, nothing's off the table. Maybe it'll be like Alien Romulus, where he just executive produces it and, some younger whippersnapper directs it. I don't know, but I would go see General Jane.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kevin points out that Demi Moore is also in Landman these days. So she is in people's vision all over the place.
I don't know what that is.
It's a TV series. It
Okay.
looks kind of like Yellowstone.
Okay.
It's kind of westerny, and she is in that.
Cool.
Omar is pointing out The Count of Monte Cristo is also out today, which I have seen.
Yes.
I saw it like 2 months ago when I chaperoned my son's French class field trip, and they went up to LA to go see a movie at the French Film Festival that they always do at the DGA, and it's excellent. I don't know if it's playing anywhere near you. I don't know if we're ever going to get to it, but it is so well made. It is 3 hours long. It feels like back to back to back episodes of prestige television. It is the story, like the sweep of the epic that but with incredible technology. Like some of the camera work is just breathtaking. Pierre Ninet, who stars as Edmond, is great. He was in Yves Saint Laurent.
Right.
Remember that?
Yes.
He's that guy.
Okay.
No, it's really, really well made. And
yeah, you were telling me you liked it.
I'm not sure we're gonna get to it, but but it is very good. Admiral Jane says Bonzo Kilborn. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. Also, Dune Prophecy. Speaking of television and prestige television, Dune Prophecy is going to be back for a second season. We've been recapping Dune Prophecy on our Patreon. On Sunday is the series, I guess now it's the season finale.
Yes.
Are any of you guys watching Dune Prophecy too? We've liked it so far.
Yeah, we're into it.
Yeah, it feels like substantial and weighty. And I think if you like that Dune universe and you're kind of jonesing for it until the third part of Denis Villeneuve's trilogy comes out, which I don't think we even know when that's going to be, do we?
I don't think I've heard a date on it yet, no. And if you loved seeing Emily Watson as a treacherous nun in Small Things Like These, you get even more of it here.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. She's chilling. Bonzo says Dune Prophecy is so boring. Did you watch last week's episode? Like, shit goes down.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, sir, or ma'am, person. Hi. Yeah, no, there's a lot happening on that show.
It is eventful. And then I know, Alonso, you want to talk about Marissa Paredes.
Yes. Almadovar star. She passed this week at the age of 78. She was in quite a few of his films. She was the lead in The Flower of My Secret. She played the actress Uma Rojo in All About My Mother, the woman who's in the production of A Streetcar Named Desire. She pops up in quite a few of his films and was a real, just like one of the greats of Spanish cinema. And so, just wanted to kind of mark her passing. I think she's extraordinarily talented and was the kind of, sort of like strong woman that Almadovar loved to populate his films with. She's great in High Heels. She's great in The Skin I Live In. Like just all of their collaborations were dynamite.
I was about to ask you the very question, and then you just addressed it. That he loves these strong women. What is it about her in particular that made her a good fit for his films?
Well, I think getting into the the instrument of it all, like she was very self-possessed, and you see her in these roles, and they aren't, it's a variety. Like sometimes she's playing these kind of larger than life sort of divas, and other times, less so. But I think she has that sort of Betty Davis, Gina Rowlands quality that I think is often looking for, especially in, like the older actresses that he works with. Like if Penelope Cruz is like his Anna Magnani, like this is his Betty Davis.
Yeah, Angel actually says she is Spain's Jenna Rowlands.
Yeah.
Sort of. And Daniel Zambrano agrees with that. Also, Angel, your stars are back. I hope you noticed that. Your little member stars next to your name. Brent's got his up there too. So they're back now. Yeah, I love that is who he is drawn to. And I'm so excited to talk about The Room Next Door with you next week. That is out, I think, in New York and LA today.
Yeah.
And then next week it'll be going out, Sony Classics always, puts these things out.
And then like mid-January, a much wider rollout, probably like right after the Oscar nominations come out.
Yeah, for sure. So that is Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore. So I'm excited to talk about that with you because a new Almodovar film is always an event.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
In this house.
Yes. Oh, so SA 1994 Chemo says, Christy and Alonso, good morning from Knox in Taiwan.
Wow.
Finally got Alonso's book. Thank you,
Thank
Knox. What time
you.
is it in Taiwan? And did you get Hollywood Pride? Is that the book that you got?
No,
Because he's
whichever one.
prolific.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, Alonzo's prolific. He is a library unto himself.
I'm maybe like the neighborhood box that you put books in and trade with somebody else to myself. But
You
thank
are
you.
your own little library. It's so sweet. We have those all over my neighborhood. They're so sweet.
Nice.
PJD has a question for us. Just curious, do you guys pay to watch movies or does your company pay for it? I know Academy members don't. So what happens usually is that we go to press screenings.
Yeah.
So the studio or a publicist for the studio will set up a screening for us. And if it's a big event movie, like Sonic the Hedgehog will say
For instance.
they'll do one screening, like one big, they call it an all media, and
Yeah.
it's usually at a big movie theater like the AMC Century City or the Grove. If you are a Christopher Nolan, for example, you have a preferred IMAX that you
Yes.
make us all schlep out to at Universal City Walk. But if it's like if it's a small indie, if it's an art house film, if it's a foreign language film, there are a bunch of screening rooms all over LA. A lot are in Beverly Hills. And so we'll go to those. Sometimes Alonzo and I can't make those. And so, like, we'll just go on the Thursday night, like, I'll just pay for it. Or if, like,
Yeah.
I know Nick wants to come with me to something, but they won't allow a guest, I'll just take him with me to see it in my neighborhood on the Thursday night before it opens.
Yeah, I have an AMC Stubs membership, so if I don't get to a press screening or there isn't a press screening, looking at you, Trap, I'll go to the first show on Thursday, and then that way we can talk about it on Friday. And then also with the smaller films, in addition to like the private screening rooms, those are ones where they might actually send us a link. Because they just don't have the budget to like book out those rooms, and it's just easier for them to send you like a Vimeo or some kind of password protected link so you can see this stuff at home.
That's true with documentaries a lot,
Yeah,
where they
for
want
sure.
to make it convenient as possible for you to get to their film. And then, like with Netflix, for example, like they'll send it to our Netflix queue. We have a thing called
Yes.
preview content. So we have a
Yeah.
different shelf there, and they'll send us things a little bit early. And so we can watch things like Hot Frosty as early as possible.
Yes, because very important that we get there.
Yes. Knox says that Hollywood Pride is the book that he got.
Cool. Hope you like it.
Yes. And quick question here from Daniel. He asks, have you guys ever reviewed Tokyo Godfathers? I don't even know what that is.
I write about it in Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas, because it is
Oh.
a remake of a Western that's been made many times, but the one that I write about is the John Ford Three Godfathers with John Wayne. But yeah, it's an anime updating about three unhoused people in contemporary Tokyo, one of whom is trans, and they find a baby, and sort of
Oh.
it's kind of a magi story. It's a lovely
Oh.
film. It's really great. And they did a new English dub a couple years back with Shakina, who I've seen in various things, including that TV show Connecting, voicing the trans character. I'm a big fan of that one.
Interesting. Okay. A couple other questions I want to answer here. Roma Steve says, will Brutalist change the Oscars runnings? I can imagine it will be a very serious player in a lot of categories, including
Yeah.
Best Picture and
Mhm.
cinematography and production design. Adrian Brody will get nominated. Guy Pearce
Yeah.
will get nominated.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's going to be in there. And, like A24 obviously has proven themselves as being really good at this sort of
Mhm.
thing. So I think they are absolutely going to be pushing it. And I think they'll be going out of their way to make sure that people see it, uh, projected certainly, and in 70 whenever possible.
Yeah. This brings me to the next question I want to get to. Mick Lebowski asks, are either of you part of any award voting bodies, Critics' Choice, LA Critics? We are both in LA Film Critics. We
Yep.
just voted a couple of weeks ago, and we picked Anora for Best Picture. And we do lead performance and supporting performance, and they are gender neutral. So we do all those things. We do documentary, we do cinematography. So yes. And then Alonzo is a fancy pants, and he is also in National Society of Film Critics.
Yes, and we will be voting in January.
The fanciest critic on this channel.
So goddamn fancy.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much. Oh, one more. Jordan says, what is a good Christmas movie to check out this week? Alonzo, a newer one that may not be on our radar.
Oh, Christmas Eve in Miller's Point, which we reviewed and I love. And, yes, technically nothing happens, but if you really allow yourself to kind of sink into its mood of memory, it is a beautiful film. I just put it on my top 10 list. I think it is, I found it thoroughly moving. It is just a film about what family gatherings are like, what holiday contemplation is like, about the sort of little moments that occur at various stages in our lives that we know we're going to carry with us forever. Premiered at the Directors Fortnight at Cannes this year. Really great movie. Check it out.
Yeah, we reviewed it. Yeah, we liked it a lot. It's got a ton of mood and it's very evocative. If you went
Yeah.
to Christmas parties as a little kid and like those moments stay in your brain,
Yeah.
many, many decades later, this feels kind of like that, like reaching back into your memory for sights and sounds and like chintzy decorations and wood paneling and all of
Exactly.
that.
It's all
So
vibes, but it's great.
yes. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it's a really busy time for you with the
Yes.
holidays coming up. And so we appreciate you sharing some of your afternoon with us. This is our last live stream of the year. Thank you for
Yeah,
being here all year long.
for
We'll
sure.
have a
Thank
couple
you.
more goodies coming on Monday and or Tuesday. And then we will do our next thing. The next thing in the beginning of the year, we're going to do best and worst of,
Yeah.
and that will be out January 6th ish.
Ish.
Depending on how things go, we're going to be doing that around then. And then again, we'll do an Oscar nomination live stream on January 17th. So keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
So thanks to all of you. Thanks to Jimmy and Teddy and Brent and John and Pia Docs and Angel and Christine. Miklobowski, happy holidays to you. And we will see you guys in the new year.
Have a
Thanks so
great
much.
holiday. Happy New Year. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. And
Boom.
okay.
That was fun.
Yes. And it's funny, I'm just now getting an